Amiga, te tengo tremendo cuento. If you switch to AT&T, you can get $300 in credits when you buy a Samsung Note 5 on AT&T Next and trade in a smartphone.
It's amazing. Why are you whispering so much? What are you talking about?
Great news. Switch to AT&T and get $300 in credits.
What?
Are you serious?
Norma, did you hear? $300 in credits when you switch to AT&T.
Switch to AT&T and get $300 in credits when you buy a Samsung Note 5 on AT&T Next and trade in a smartphone. AT&T, mobilizing your world. Limited time offers. Requires port-in eligible service and trade-in. Get a $100 bill credit applied within 90 days and $200 trade-in credit, which may be a promotion card. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store or att.com/summer buyback for details.
Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, your number one source for all things sports. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net. Use the hashtag EPNERA and join the revolution now.
Welcome back to Wrestling Heads Radio, and it's me, Oscar. Yes, I am back on WH Radio, but I'm not alone. I got the man from the NYC. I hope he doesn't get suspended like Odell Beckham Jr. I got Mr. Tom here. What's going on, Tom?
No, I'm not going to be doing any helmet-to-helmet hits, but yeah. Welcome back, everybody. It's a couple of days removed from almost Christmas, even though over here it doesn't feel like Christmas, and, you know, it's getting warmer. They said it's supposed to be up to 70 by Christmas. It's crazy, but I hope everyone's getting in their last-minute shopping and watching some good wrestling.
Wow, 70, huh? Well, we're over here. It's raining out here, and it's 55 degrees. And it's going to be like that the whole week out here. But anyways, we need more rain anyways. But anyways, before I move on the show, I just want to thank everybody that hit me up on Twitter and Facebook. I know I was ill the last few weeks. I had this infection. It was kind of a little scary. Some of the doctors didn't know what it was, and I was in a wheelchair at one point. And now I'm doing well. I'm walking now. I lost like maybe 20 pounds from this freaking this infection I had. But I'd like to thank everybody that sent me prayers, sent out prayers and all that for me. So everybody's listening that hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, I just like to say thank you. And now I'm doing fine. And I was at the WWE show in Inglewood, 1 mile where I live, on Saturday, and I had a good time, and I'm planning to go to PWG January 2nd, and like I said, thank you all, and thank you Skits and Matt, sent out the prayers as well, and they couldn't join us today, but thank you guys as well, and I'm back. I'm glad to be back on WH Radio. Also, give a little advice. Just be careful out there. You know, insects can have anything, so just be careful out there. All right. I guess we just had a tweet having trouble not talking to me the link. All right. That little tweet just time to throw me off, but oh well. Monday Night Raw started off with the Slammies, pretty much. Before we talk about Raw, what did you thought about Raw today, Tom?
I really didn't enjoy it. I thought it was pretty boring. I don't like the Slammies. Back in the late 90s when they had the Slammies, I don't really remember watching it, but everyone remembers Owen Hart for having the double Slammy and all that stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like the Slammies now are just, I don't know. It doesn't interest me. All these different awards. It's kind of cheesy to me, and it's something I really could go without seeing. Like I said, I know WWE is entertainment, and they want to put themselves in that industry, so they have this. So they have the Slammies every year to put themselves in that category and stay prevalent in the media with these awards. But I don't know. I just thought Raw was pretty boring. Nothing really happened. I didn't think it was a good episode.
I want to say 100% boring, like you think. I think they had some good moments, but one of the awards that I was actually shocked. I don't know. Some of these winners were scratching my head. Did he present this during the show, but before the show started, or maybe during the afternoon, whatever? But they announced the Usos won the Tag Team of the Year. But if this Slammy is based on voting, is that kind of a little head scratcher there? Because what have the Usos done this year, to win Tag Team of the Year? Because one of them was sidelined most of the year, and got me thinking, what the hell they have done, all year to become Tag Team of the Year? That's a head scratcher. But if people vote it, this is most likely a popularity vote.
Yeah, and I mean, come on. I don't think it's any secret that the Slammies, even though they say that it's fan voting, come on, it's rigged. I think everybody knows this. WWE is going to put, some people who they want in favor of others. And it's kind of contradictory because, they built up, your vote matters. But, I mean, we've seen in the past that, WWE has rigged so many of these different awards and voting things that they do from time to time. So, honestly, it's not surprising. Usos should not have won. But, like I said, not shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the first awards that got me another head scratch here, but no offense, I love Neville, but I don't know if he was breakout star of the year. I think it was more like Kevin Owens, but basically they said it was voted from the fans, and Neville won the whole thing. I'll be honest with you, I'm glad he won the award, but I just feel like that was supposed to be Kevin Owens' award there. But, yeah. Then it led to Kevin Owens coming in, and he mentioned what he did all year, how he beat John Cena. He actually botched. I don't know if you noticed that he said he beat John Cena in his first match. What he's supposed to meant that he beat John Cena and Kevin Owens' match, but he said that he beat John Cena in his first match, but he actually botched that. I don't know if you realize that, but and it led to him and Dolph got a little physical altercation, and they had a match later on, and which I thought it was the best match of the night. Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. They wrestled already so many times already, and now the chemistry got better. I don't know if you noticed that, but the chemistry between the two got better each time they wrestled. So, and it will lead to tomorrow night on SmackDown. It will be a triple threat match. Dean Ambrose will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. You have any comments on the match in Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler?
I thought it was solid. Like I said, it's two good workers, so you can expect a good match. Really, no matter I think the if it's Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view, you know it's going to be a really solid match when you have two good performers going out there. So I thought it was a really solid match. You know, nothing spectacular, but you know, nothing bad because, like I said, it's two great wrestlers going out there. So I thought it was like I said, very solid match. Definitely one of the probably maybe the best match of the night, I guess you could say. Just overall, like pure wrestling wise.
Yeah, this is one of the good moments I thought about Raw. I didn't want to get to the beginning because we all knew what happened. Roman Reigns coming out. Well, Stephanie came out, mentioned how Roman Reigns attacked her father, and then Reigns came out, just being a little smart ass because Stephanie got pissed, and then she wanted him out of the ring, and then because the crowd won me, you know, all this jibber jabber, and that's pretty much how the Raw begins, and then it went to the Slammy thing, but after that, Bray Wyatt going against the returning Kane, which ended up being no contest, and somehow after the commercial break, it ended up being a match which I saw during Saturday at the live event they had here in Inglewood, California, like 1 mile where I live. Actually, it was Kane teaming up with the Dudley Boys and Tommy Dreamer against the Wyatt family, in which the Wyatt family won the match. I don't know if you heard all these rumors over the weekend that, you know, the Wyatts are going to move on. They're going to feud with somebody else. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a continuation with the Dudleys, Tommy Dreamer, and Mary with Kane. Let me ask you something. You heard all of these rumors about, I don't know, you probably heard the rumors over the weekend about the Wyatts moving on. Who would you like to see the Wyatts feud next? Because people are saying Brock Lesnar.
I wouldn't say Brock Lesnar because, you know, my main complaint with Bray Wyatt in his booking ever since he came to the WWE was that he really just hasn't looked like, you know, the monster and the savage that he was built up to be. You know, time after time we've just seen him lose a feud. He'll cut promos, lose a feud. So, and only recently in the feud with the Wyatt family against, you know, Team ECW, did we actually see the Wyatts, you know, come out on top. So, if you're going to feud the Wyatt family with somebody, it has to be somebody that Bray Wyatt can get a victory over, where it's not going to hurt the other guy, it's going to make Bray Wyatt look stronger. And that's tough right now because, I mean, who do you pick out of that category as far as baby faces go in the WWE? There's not a whole lot of picking as far as a possible feud goes, and it goes back to WWE creative. It goes back to, you know, how they've not built up, I think, a lot of legitimate stars over the past few years, and they've only focused on a lot of main eventers, and there's a big separation between, you know, main eventers and the other guys because it just goes from main eventers to upper mid-card guys. Plus, with injuries going on, I don't know, it's tough. Like I said, I can't really pick out a name that I would want Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family to feud with. You know what I mean? It's tough.
Yeah. If they're going to go with Brock Lesnar, to me that'd probably be my next pick, but if they're going to go with Brock Lesnar, I'm kind of hoping it'd be up to Royal Rumble. I don't mind seeing a WrestleMania match in Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar, but it depends on. I really truly feel like the rumors are. I feel like it's true because I don't know they have an opponent for Roman Reigns yet because there's talks maybe possible rematch from last year's WrestleMania Brock Lesnar and Reigns, or maybe even a Triple H match, possibly at WrestleMania. But if they're gonna go with, like, let's just say they want to go Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, then most likely if they're gonna have a Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt, it's gonna most likely gonna happen at the Royal Rumble, and then they'll squash it afterwards. All right, well, let's just move on. If you guys care, the next award was the LOL Moment of the Year award, which ended up being R-Truth winning it from, I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was on SmackDown. He came out, he thought he was part of the Money in the Bank match, and Kane was like, wait a minute, you're not part of the Money in the Bank match. And basically the moment was that he thought he was in the match. He did a promo saying what he's going to do and all this stuff, but he wasn't part of the match, and that was pretty much the LOL Moment of the Year when R-Truth made that little error that he thought was in the Money in the Bank match. And Santino, he made his return. He tried to accept the awards. Yeah, the R-Truth. The R-Truth came in, and they were pretty much fighting for the award. And, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But, yeah, R-Truth won LOL Moment of the Year. And I guess after commercial break, the third one, Slammy, for Oh My Gosh, Shocking Moment of the Year came out. Was presented by Paul Heyman, by the way. And the winner was Kalisto from that spot he did from TLC where he did the Little Soul on one of the Usos, and he landed on the ladder. That was the Oh My God Shocking Moment of the Year. I mean, that was actually a crazy that spot. I remember I yelled out, "This dude fucking lost his balls." And yeah, that's pretty much the Oh My God Shocking Moment of the Year. And yeah, all right. We already talked about Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. Now we're gonna move on. The fourth one, which actually was every year. The first time ever in Slammy history, the eligible was everybody in the roster was eligible to win Superstar of the Year, and ended up being Seth Rollins, who actually made his return today on crutches, and then he won the Superstar of the Year, and he mentioned what kind of year he had, and he said he's going to come back in 2016, and he's going to reclaim the title he lost. Tom, what you thought of Seth Rollins' return?
I thought it was good because I thought that Seth Rollins, I can't believe I'm saying this, but he deserved this award. I'm saying that in the sense that, like I said, like the Slammy Awards mean really something. But if you're talking about a guy who in 2015 just busted his ass week in and week out, it was Seth Rollins. Through the crappiest of Raws to the good Raws to everything in between. I think Seth Rollins may have had the most matches in WWE in 2015 before his injury. I could be wrong. But like I said, the guy was a workhorse, and he got a really good reaction when he came out. He's going to be a big-time babyface when he comes back, because I feel like we're over the heel Seth Rollins, and I think people want to cheer for him. So,
yes, he got
tonight was a good indication. Yes, he got a good reaction.
Yeah, he did have a good reaction. So when he comes back, he is going to be a good face. I actually agree with you there. So, all right. Yeah, Seth Rollins had a little moment there. Alberto Del Rio had a match with Jack Swagger. I had to say it was like whatever, because we all know the League of Nations was gonna interfere, because he had the whole entire group outside of the ring. Pretty much Alberto Del Rio won the match, and they also announced next week he's gonna go against the returning John Cena, and yeah, that's what's going to happen next week. But do you have any comments between Alberto and Jack Swagger's match?
There's not much to say. It was a squash match. basically, Del Rio was out there with the League of Nations. It was basically a match just to make Del Rio and the League of Nations look strong, keep building up that stable. So, it was a whatever type of thing, made Del Rio and the League of Nations look semi-strong. So it did its purpose.
Yeah, definitely. Then they announced the award was presented by Mark Henry, was the Hero in All of Us award, which ended up John Cena ended up winning it due to all these wishes from Make-A-Wish that he attended to. I think he even broke records for making wishes to all those kids that had some issues, and he won the award for that. So congratulations, John Cena, and I'm sure Tom is happy to see him back next week. Also, the next award was presented by Bo Dallas dressing up like Santa Claus. Most shocker return of the year, and the winner ended up being Sting, but Bo Dallas actually took the award on behalf of Sting. So, we might see Bo Dallas walking around with a Slammy Award that he might claim he won it, but actually Sting won the award, and he wasn't there to accept it, so, yeah. There goes your Bo Dallas moment there. The New Day went at it against the Usos. New Day were upset because earlier on WWE.com, it was announced that they were tagged in the year. The New Day was upset about that, so they had a match. Usos actually won the match. I have to say, this match was okay. I like to. Vicky got hops. He jumps high and he slams you, I feel like he was at least almost 6 feet up in the air, and he comes down and slams one of the Usos. But the New Day still doing their thing. The little, you can say the little wackiness they're doing on Raw every week and on SmackDown. But the Usos won, and maybe they're gonna move on the feud. But I actually just remember tomorrow night on SmackDown, the live SmackDown special, the New Day will be going against the Lucha Dragons for the WWE World Tag Team Championship tomorrow night on SmackDown. You have any comment on that match with the Usos and the New Day?
Yeah, it's just like you said. I thought it was okay. It was nothing too good. We've seen better between, I think, the two teams. Wasn't horrible, or, there wasn't botches filling up the whole matchup, so it wasn't too bad, but it was just kind of like, just like a typical Raw tag team match that we've seen time and time again.
Yeah.
So it really didn't, there was nothing new into this matchup. There's nothing that really kind of stood out in this matchup. It was just kind of like a plain old Raw tag team match. So, it was okay, but once again, New Day was entertaining. So no matter what the match quality is, I think with New Day matches, at least you're going to be entertained by them, and when they're cutting promos, you're going to be watching them and keeping an eye on your TV. So that's good. And once again, I think everybody knows that probably New Day were one of the highlights of WWE in 2015, one of the few highlights. Like I said, I think they kept a lot of people watching the product, even if it was just for their segments or whatever. At least they did something. And like I said, you look at where these three guys were a year ago, and they really weren't doing much. And you look at them now, and there's some of the most entertaining things in WWE so far this year, and they've done it consistently on a week-to-week basis. So it's great to see where they are now as compared to where they were.
Yeah. before we move on, I just want to say, anybody that's listening, if you guys want to get in a conversation, you can call in anytime at 347-945-5566. You could just call. You could call in right now and talk about Final Battle or the rumors about Mike Bennett going to TNA. You know, we could talk to you about that at any time. So don't trip. You call in any time, or PWG, which I did not attend to, but we could talk about that. But yeah, just call in any time, and yeah, feel free to call in. Then the next award, which was Steve of the Year, it was funny that R-Truth actually said it was Paige that won, but he said he made an error. Paige came out, she thought she won it, but he said he made an error, and then Paige got upset at R-Truth. And he said the actual winner was Nikki Bella, where she came out with a freaking see-through dress. And basically Nikki Bella came out and accepted the award. And this award is dedicated to every woman from the roster, even from the NXT roster, and also any women that attend the show that bought a ticket and cheer for us. This award was for them. So, yeah. Hold on a second. We have a caller. I think I know who this is. 323 area code, 11 Wrestling Heads Radio. I think this is
You already know
right?
who it is. You already know who it is. I just want to come on here real quick and promote next week, ladies and gentlemen, hashtag Body Slam Awards going down. Fuck the Slammies.
Yeah, fuck the Slammies. It was all bullshit today.
I don't even know who won Superstar of the Year. Don't tell me. Don't spoil me.
You might like
Superstar
it.
of the Year was Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella actually won all the awards. Because Nikki Bella is Queen of the Strong Style.
I'm gonna keep that comment to myself for what I want to say because I'm at work.
But I mean, honestly, you did not miss much with the slamming.
I just heard Sting kill Ziggler. Chris hit me up and told me. That's all I know. But
yeah, they had a good match.
I just want to come on and promote the Body Slam Awards. So, folks, if you're listening right now, we're having a taped show of the Body Slam Awards, but it's a must-listen show. It's going to be epic. All the votes are from every fan on Twitter. Not every fan, but majority of fans. They voted on Twitter, Facebook, and I want to thank everybody for voting. And I'm going back to work, and enjoy the show, people. And I'm WH Skits. Peace.
Peace out. All right, that was Skits. You just heard it next week, Body Slam Awards. I mean, there was a lot of crazy votes on that. This shit ain't rigged, so at least our awards is going to be, at least makes more sense than the Slammy Awards. All right, next match, Rusev versus Neville. You know what? This match was pretty good until the end. I like how it led to the finish with how Neville was going to do the red arrow, but then Rusev quickly moved out the way. Neville still jumped, but he gained the super kick, and then it led to the Rusev's finisher. And then Rusev actually beat Neville in that match, but it was pretty. It started slow, then it got good to the end. Do you have any comment on that match, Neville and Rusev?
I thought it was a okay to good match. You know, there's some good spots in there. I just find it so ironic that, you know, WWE presented Neville with the breakout star of the year, and yet he gets beat here tonight. What kind of logic is that? So you're saying this guy is the next big thing, or the next big, you know, wrestler or superstar, as they like to call it, or whatever, but then you have him lose on the same night. So what does that say about your talent? It doesn't say much. So that definitely confused me on to why they would, you know, go with that decision. But, you know, like I said, Neville, ever since Neville's been on the main roster, he's not had one really big win or big feud or big victory. He's just been kind of sitting in the mid-card, doing nothing. He'll do matches once in a while on Raw. Sometimes he'll win, and do the red arrow for a quick pop. And sometimes he'll just be made to look like a geek. So the booking of Neville has definitely been a confusing one in 2015. And honestly, it may continue in 2016 at the rate we're going.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I could make more sense, or what leads to make sense why Neville lost, because it seemed like that feud with the Miz, because Miz was doing commentating during the match, and he did mention that, okay, Neville doesn't want me to help him. All right, I won't help him. And then, and in the end, after he lost, he did got jumped by the League of Nations. And, Miz said he doesn't want me to help him. All right, there you go. And look what it leads to. And it just might lead to a Neville and Miz feud, possibly at the Royal Rumble, and then, see what it goes from there. But I just hope there ain't no pre-show match in the two. And, because it seems like Neville's always doing pre-show matches and pay-per-views. All right. Speaking about the Miz, he presented this next award. This award was the This Is Awesome Moment of the Year award, which ended up being, the winner was The Rock and Ronda Rousey when they did the little altercation with Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania, which I was there, by the way. And they won, and then The Miz took the award and pretty much mocking The Rock, and he tried to promote his movie Stand Little Helper, and he just mentioned it's better than Star Wars and all that stuff. So, yeah, The Miz walked out of there. Becky Lynch went out against Brie Bella, which pretty much was a rematch from SmackDown. If you guys didn't see SmackDown, I just want to give you a little head, tell you what's going on. On SmackDown, Charlotte pretty much helped Brie Bella. Sorry, not Brie. Becky beat Brie, but then she didn't like the way how she won the match because Charlotte helped her like that, and they had a little argument backstage. Well, this time, Charlotte really pretty much did not interfere, but Becky Lynch did beat Brie Bella on this one, and there's nothing really to comment about because nothing interesting really happened. At least you have something to comment about it, but I don't see anything you can comment about this match between Brie Bella and Becky Lynch. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't been here in a couple weeks, but I imagine that, where we were last, when you were here, when we were talking about the Divas, really nothing has changed. Like, there's just, like, Becky Lynch is getting involved in the whole thing with Charlotte, but it seems to be on life support at this point, where it's like, where was Sasha Banks tonight? Like, people beg for her, and once again, she's not on the show. So, once again, it's very confusing booking with the Divas, and I think it's been like that ever since the whole quote-unquote Divas Revolution started. I mean, how many weeks were we just talking about that we didn't even want to see the Divas anymore because it was just getting boring or played out?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, right now they got to separate the teams. I mean, to me, it seems like they try to focus more on the NXT women, like Charlotte and Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. I know, Sasha Banks was not on the show, which Shirley was shown backstage. Pretty much that was it. But it seems like they want to have Charlotte go heel and have that match with Becky Lynch in maybe next pay-per-view. But yeah, it seems like they're focusing on them more. You don't see Charlotte going against Brie Bella for the title at a pay-per-view or Alicia Fox. But yeah, I think it's gonna lead to a match with Becky Lynch, possibly in the Rumble, and let's see what goes on from there. But we'll see. I mean, with all these women, like I said, it's going to confuse me what they're going to do with WrestleMania. Like, I don't want to see no fucking Battle Royal like they had 2 years ago. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. And like I said, I'm not in no rush to have Bayley come to the main roster. She can stay in NXT. All right. The next Slammy, which was match of the year, I think it was the last one out of all of them, but the winner was actually Brock Lesnar going against The Undertaker at Hell in the Cell, which I attended to. It was a brutal match. Both guys were bleeding, tearing up the ring. Paul Heyman got the award, accepted for Brock Lesnar. And the fans wanted Lesnar because I believe the show was in Minneapolis, and which is his hometown. And then he kind of said, you know, Brock Lesnar always wants to fight. He's not here to just get awards. Basically trying to calm the crowd from all that.
Yeah.
After all that, backstage, you saw the League of Nations attacking Usos, and they beat them down. And Tom, were you trying to say something right now?
I was gonna say, you know, I love how you can tell that this year with the Slammy Awards was probably the least fixed that they've ever been, because look at who won. Like, nobody was here. John Cena wasn't here. Sting wasn't here. The Rock wasn't there. Brock Lesnar wasn't there. So it's like you're doing all these awards, and if they really were counting on the fans' votes, you figure that there's a lot that could win, but these people aren't there. So what's the incentive? Okay, these people won the awards, but nobody was there to accept it. So it was like, all right, we're going to have blah, 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 except for blah, 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 and yada, yada, and The Rock's not here, and, you know, Sting's not here, and all the big stars, they're not here. So it just seemed, I think it seemed kind of hilarious in the sense, like I said, that they did this whole thing. But I mean, honestly, that's WWE, where they really don't try to plan these things in advance, and then when they do, it goes wrong. So either way, it seems like they don't win.
Definitely. All right, well, let's get to the main event, which ended up being a cage match between Dean Ambrose and Sheamus. Right before the match, as soon as Dean Ambrose was going inside the cage, he already got bro kicked right in the freaking face, and then he was outside, and then they still went on with the match between the two. This is like an actual normal cage match, but mostly Dean Ambrose was getting all these bumps where he getting thrown in the cage and all that stuff. The League of Nations was surrounded until Roman Reigns came out. He actually pretty much helped Dean Ambrose. I guess he tossed him a chair, and Dean Ambrose actually won the match. And the match wasn't great, but I'm actually looking forward for tomorrow's night match when he defends his title against Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, which we saw tonight. Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens had a good match. Just can't wait to see what's going to go down with adding Dean Ambrose in there, you know? So that's pretty much how Raw ended, with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose getting a little celebration going on. And, that's pretty much ended. And we'll see what happens tomorrow now, SmackDown. But you have any comment about the main event, Tom?
I thought the main event, it was okay. You know, it wasn't, you know, one of the strongest cage matches that we've seen, but, you know, it did its job, I think. You know, you had Sheamus, you know, beating the shit out of Ambrose for a while, looking still, you know, legitimate, and looking like, at least for that moment, because then Roman Reigns comes out, and, you know, he's attacking the League of Nations with the steel chair and all of that. And I don't know, I just got the feeling that Sheamus started off the match looking like a legitimate, threat once again, and then at the end he was made to look like a joke, like once again. Like somehow Sheamus ends up looking like a goof once again. So, I don't know. So, I really...
You see, I knew this was going to happen if they give him the title strap, because as soon as he loses it, he's going to be a goof again. I always thought that was going to happen, even though when he was a champion,
Yeah. Like I said, it's just weird how they decide to book these, type of matches, and how they decide to book, certain guys. Like I said, you try to make contenders look legitimate, but then you make them look like idiots with this interference and how they ended the steel cage match. Like I said, I really didn't think it did Sheamus any favors. I don't know. It's just, and it's really confusing on where they could possibly, go from here. I don't know. It's, like I said, it's very odd. It leaves a lot of questions up in the air. Doesn't make too much sense. But that, like I said, that's just my... You still there?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was on mute. Well, that was... ladies and gentlemen, that was
the skits there.
Yeah, I did have full of skits on this time. But that was your Raw. That was your Slammies. I'm pretty sure WWE.com have more categories that somebody want. You can check it out there on WWE.com. But yeah, let's take a little commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about some Ring of Honor Final Battle. And we could probably talk about a rumor going on with somebody from Ring of Honor's contract could be right now, and it could be going somewhere else. We'll be right back. Oh, you motherfucker. Hold on a second.
Hey guys, this is Pikachu, and I'm challenging Wrestling Heads Radio to a Pokemon battle. Boom, baby.
Hey, this is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. We just happen to be the best tag team on planet Earth, and you are listening to Wrestling Heads Radio.
We are here in the sunny California. This is the aerial assassin Will Ospreay, and this is Wrestling Hits.
Brock Lesnar!
I had to play that. All right, we're back on Wrestling Heads Radio. We're done talking WWE. I just want to talk some Ring of Honor, which the pay-per-view was pretty good, not that bad. I'm sure you guys are pay-per-view. What you thought of the pay-per-view, Tom?
Final Battle, I thought it was a good show. It was definitely a really solid show. The main event delivered, I thought. A lot of people, including myself, were very skeptical considering AJ Styles' health. But I thought the main event delivered as a main event type of matchup, and definitely a match you need to go out of your way to see if you haven't seen it. I thought Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly was a really good match as well. I thought that stole the show. And I thought the opening triple threat number one contenders tag match was good as well. At the same time, though, it was a pretty uninteresting undercard. Some of the matches that were on the undercard were kind of fell flat, or it just wasn't as interesting as it could have been, or maybe it just didn't hit that next level potential. But overall, I thought Final Battle, it was a good show. I mentioned this when we were leading up until Final Battle, for a couple of weeks, we were talking about the matches. Like I said, I thought besides the main event, Cole and O'Reilly, there really wasn't anything on the show that, stood out to me as, okay, this is Ring of Honor's biggest show of the year. Because all of the other matches you could have seen on any other show. It didn't seem like those other matches, like I said, minus Jay Lethal and AJ Styles and Cole and O'Reilly, those other matches were just kind of put there. There really wasn't a lot of sense and a lot of purpose to it. So there really was only a couple of feuds going into this that had a lot of momentum. So, but like I said, I still think Ring of Honor did a good job with Final Battle. I think if you ordered it, you got your money's worth. Could you say it could have been better? I think so. I think for Ring of Honor saying that this is the biggest show of the year, maybe they could have made it feel a little bit more special. But overall, I thought they did a good job. What did you think?
I think it was pretty good. There is these couple of matches I like that we talked about, especially the opener. I really love that one. Adam Cole and Riley was pretty good. I mean, I really liked that one. I had to watch the match again, and that was the match of the night. And like you said earlier about AJ Styles and Lethal match, I was a little concerned because of the back injury, but AJ did pull it off, and you don't have to have no worries when it comes to Wrestle Kingdom when he has that match against Nakamura. So yeah, you have to worry about that. So I'm pretty sure AJ Styles will put up his A game on that event as well. All right. Well, I was gonna say before we move on, talk about Final Battle, I want to say happy birthday to a former guest of ours. We had in the past like twice. Now he's in NXT, but shout out to happy birthday to Biff Busick. Yeah, he's a cool dude, and he just turned 30, and I wish him luck and success in NXT. Hopefully he does something out there and maybe have a Hall of Fame career. So I want to give a shout out to Biff Busick. Today's his birthday. The Final Battle. Let's talk about the opener. The first match was the number one contender tag team title match. The winners becomes number one contenders for the ROH Tag Team Champions. You got Nick and Matt, Big Young Bucks, super kicking all the time, going against All Night Express, Kenny Red Titus, and the Briscoes. And it was a great match. Freaking Young Bucks doing their super kicks all over the freaking place. You got, Red Titus and Kenny King doing their high-flying stuff as well. But surprisingly, it seems like All Night just turned heel during this match, and they got the victory, and now they're your new number one contenders, the All Night Express. They beat the Young Bucks and the Briscoes, so All Night will move on, and they got the title shots. But I'm gonna ask you something. What's your thought of that opener, Tom?
I thought it was a really solid opener. Ring of Honor kind of going the route that New Japan goes, with the Wrestle Kingdom shows, which is to put on the multi-man tag matches first, kind of get the crowd going, get them hyped up for the show. So I thought this was the perfect choice for the openers. The match I thought was good, very fast-paced. Of course, we saw a lot of high flying, a lot of good spots in here. Everybody got their stuff in. Definitely was surprised that All Night Express won. Also considering, I don't know, when they won, it just seemed like the crowd really didn't care because I'm pretty sure the crowd wanted the Young Bucks to win. Yeah. And especially that, Ring of Honor announced that the Young Bucks are signed to Ring of Honor, and they made a really big deal about it. And, the Young Bucks just wrestled their last independent date with 2CW over the weekend, and 2CW's last shows actually ever, which we can talk about another time. Maybe save it for the random wrestling recap that we have, or whatever. But we will talk about it. But you would think that, okay, so you make this big announcement, so you want people, so people are thinking, okay, now the Young Bucks are going to be in Ring of Honor. I got to see it. And then maybe this is somebody's first time saying, okay, I'm going to watch the Young Bucks because it must be a big deal because they signed this contract and they don't win. So, but, I mean, I guess I can see it because now it sets up War Machine, which is the babyface tag team against All Night Express, which is heel. So, it makes sense. But at the same time, like I said, the crowd really didn't like the finish. But like I said, match was good. Everybody did really well in the match. And I mentioned this last week. It's really weird to think that Jay Briscoe went from main eventing Final Battle last year and being Ring of Honor World Champion to opening up the show and not even getting a victory. So Jay Briscoe definitely, I don't think he had the best 2015.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people tired of him seeing him as champion. I mean, I remember going to last year's anniversary show. People wanted to drop the title and to Hanson or Ciampa, but it went that way. So there's some people tired of him seeing him as champion. So
yeah. Let me ask you this. Yeah. Do you think that even though the Briscoes have been a Ring of Honor mainstay since day one, you know, they've been with the company ever since they first began, do you think that people are kind of over them being in Ring of Honor? Do you think, I don't want to say people are sick of seeing them because, you know, Jay is always entertaining in the ring and Mark's a very entertaining wrestler as well. He's a lot more, you know, vocal and crazy and a lot, I think, more charismatic in the sense that he's, you know, he does is kind of over the Briscoes in Ring of Honor where they, you know, you expect to see them, but it's not really doing anything.
In a way, yeah, but I just feel like in their careers now, it's time for them to put over guys already, you know. I feel like it's more, the people can show more respect to them than they put over guys. I wish they could, like, find a younger tag team to come in and have the Briscoes put them over, you know. But unfortunately, right now, they don't have that, you know, up-and-coming tag team. They have, you know, the Kingdom. They have the Young Bucks. They have War Machine. Maybe their up-and-coming tag team, like you can say, the closest thing to say is probably War Machine. But they don't have no other tag teams right now that they need to, like, say, okay, let's build these guys up. Let's see what they could do. They don't have that. You know, they already have a tag teams that rock. I think they're at a point right now in their careers they have to put guys over.
Yeah, and that's always, I think we've mentioned it a couple of times, that's been Ring of Honor's kind of one of their big problems is their tag team division has kind of been on and off, you know. There's been periods where it's been good, but then there's periods where it's kind of lackluster. And I like that idea. And, you know, I think to keep the Briscoes relevant, they don't even need to be in the title picture. Like you said, you can bring in a brand new tag team, fresh tag team. It doesn't matter if it's like a established independent tag team or whoever, and you get them into a big feud with the Briscoes because you know what, that's when the Briscoes shine. Because you think about, you know, their past, and you think about Briscoes versus King of Wrestling, Briscoes versus Steven D'Americo, Briscoes versus the American Wolves, and all these different feuds that the Briscoes have gone through. And that's where the Briscoes shine. And the Briscoes really, like I said, they haven't had a big feud in a while. So I think that's a good idea to just bring in a new tag team, have them feud with the Briscoes for a while, you know, get into some good matches, you know, get some street fights, you know, make it something where it puts in a new tag team, but still shows that the Briscoes are still relevant in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like you said, All Night Express as your tag team, means their number contenders. You know, it would be nice for them if they are planning to give the straps to them, you know, and it'll be nice to win the tag belts at the 4th anniversary in Kenny King's hometown, Las Vegas. Just put a thought out there. That would be nice. But anyways, the second match, you have Dalton Castle going against Silas Young, and he has the boys. This match, well, I swear to God, they had a lot of apron spots. I don't know if you noticed that, but they had a lot of apron spots during this match. It's a little PWG thing, but it was not like a PWG match. But, yeah, there's a lot of apron spots there. Dalton Castle, man, showing his strength, how he lifted up, Silas Young. Dalton Castle is actually pretty strong. If you saw how he lifts them up, like Chad Gable did the freaking Baron Corbin, Dalton Castle is pretty strong. But unfortunately, Silas Young won the match, and after the match he grabbed the mic. Silas Young wanted Dalton Castle to say he's a man because he beat him twice already, and he wanted man. He's a man. Dalton Castle said, "All right, you're a man, a foolish man," and he said, "These are my boys," and the boys hit Silas Young with the chair, and pretty much Dalton Castle united with the boys, just like that. And so now the boys are back with Dalton Castle. Tom, you have a comment with the match between Dalton Castle and Silas Young?
I thought the match was better than their previous one. Like you said, they had a couple of good spots. Each guy I think looked good, and like I said, you mentioned Dalton Castle. You did see that it's more than just his character. He can go in the ring. We all know this, but it was a really solid match, and it told a good story, but I felt like there was something missing in this match, and I can't really point my finger to it. But there was just one thing that just it was missing that could have taken it, to be a better match. It was still a really solid match, but there was just something missing in it that could have made it better. Could have been timing, could have been, the pacing of the match. I really can't point my finger to it, but, I did like the result because it did make both guys look good. Silas Young getting the win and then Dalton Castle getting the boys back. So, I thought the result was good. It just seems like, where does each guy go? Is this the end of the feud? Is there one more match that's going to take place? Because you figure, the boys turn their back on Silas Young, so there has to be something that goes, forward from here. So we'll see. I think people were happy to see the boys back with Dalton Castle.
Yeah, it would have made a lot of sense if Dalton Castle won the match and that feud to him and Silas Young. You could have Dalton maybe move on with better things, like possibly going after for the TV title or something like that, or have him feud with somebody that pretty much not doing anything. Like maybe have him feud. I know he had a couple matches with him, but maybe have a feud with Adam Cole or something like that. I mean, he could have done that for Dalton Castle. I mean, a feud with Adam Cole would be good for him. I would not mind seeing a feud between those two guys. I think that would be great for them. But unfortunately, it looks like possibly they might have one more match in them, possibly at the anniversary. Maybe this would be like the final one between the two. And but that's where it looks like where it's going. Between Dalton Castle and Silas Young. All right, next match. It was pretty much the turn into the number contender for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship match. You got Moose going against Michael Elgin. I'm going to say this match I feel like it was a hard-hitting match. Those guys were like I mean, like they said, the bigger you are, the harder they fall. I feel like they slam each other too hard on the ring. They went outside a couple of times as well. I think Moose got hit pretty hard in the rails. I think that was Moose, if I'm not mistaken. But it was almost like it was a hard hitting match. But Elgin ended up winning the match, and he's done with contender for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And Tom, you have a comment in this between Elgin and Moose?
I thought it was an okay match. There was good spots in it. But once again, like the Silas Young Dalton Castle match, I just felt like there was something missing in this. It was a good kind of big brawler type of matchup, like a big Haas battle. And I think everybody expected Elgin to win, going into the Wrestle Kingdom 10 match against Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor World title. And that's the weird part, is that, Moose was being built up so much in the early part of 2015. But over the past couple months, it seems like he's lost a lot of momentum. Like, it seems like any sort of push that he had was just kind of derailed so quickly. I mean, he can bounce back from it very easily, but I don't know. It's very weird. It's very weird that they set this type of matchup. But I think Elgin and Lethal is going to be a good match at Wrestle Kingdom. I think Elgin's going to look. I think he looks better in New Japan than he does in Ring of Honor. Elgin's had great matches in Ring of Honor, but like I said, judging from the G1, the crowd likes Elgin. They like him doing his power spots, and to get in there with a guy like Lethal, where he's, familiar with, it should set the tone for a good match. So, like I said, it made Elgin look good, but still kind of confused on Moose.
Yeah, Moose, I feel like they're taking their time with Moose. You don't have to have him come up with contender right away. Right now it's a little question mark, like what's next for Moose now that he lost to Elgin. But I feel like, they're taking their time with him. They're not pushing him around. But I feel like Elgin deserves, to get a world title match more than Moose right now, and I was okay with Elgin winning the match. So so now we know, pretty much the Wrestle Kingdom's going to, for the ROH Championship, you got Elgin going against Jay Lethal, which I'm pretty sure it'll be a good match. You got Lethal going to Japan. I know he's trying to shine some brightness in there, and like people were saying, Elgin's killing it out there in Japan. So I'm pretty sure we're going to look at a match for Wrestle Kingdom. All right, next match. You have Kyle O'Reilly going against Adam Cole. I have to say, this match was almost a repeat from a couple of years ago. The only difference is you don't see Adam Cole's tooth flying out. But remember, they had a match at Final Battle a couple of years ago at the two, and it's almost like a repeat performance. But maybe you could say the ending kind of sucked. But Cole put his feet on the ropes, and he pinned Kyle O'Reilly like that. But in the end, O'Reilly snaps. He was trying. It seems like he was trying to break Adam Cole's arm. His arm and all that stuff. And this match was a grudge match, but maybe it will continue on with O'Reilly and Adam Cole. But this was the best match of the night. If you like seeing like technical stuff and all that stuff, you will love this match. I know Skip loved that match. Tom, you have a comment to the match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly?
I really liked this match. I thought it told a really good story. You know, it really did seem like a grudge match. You know, Cole working over O'Reilly a good amount of the matchup, getting really aggressive, working over the different body parts of Kyle O'Reilly. You know, working on the leg. You know, and you know, there, like I said, there's a couple other good spots. You know, at one point Kyle O'Reilly was making a comeback, and Adam Cole flipped him off, and then Kyle O'Reilly went straight into an armbar after that. I thought that was great. You know, they had several striking battles. Yeah, so like I said, I thought there was a lot of good spots in it. It really did feel like a grudge match. These guys have really, really good chemistry with each other. And I thought the match, like I said, it told a great story. It was built up to be, like I said, this kind of heated feud going into the biggest show of the year. So I like that as well. Crowd was into it. I think the finish was good because, you know, it keeps Adam Cole as the dickish heel, and, you know, Kyle O'Reilly, you saw the anger that, you know, after the match, and, you know, and it just means that the feud is going to continue. So I like it. Like I said, if we'll get to see another match between the two, so be it. Like I said, these guys are so damn good that they could have a bunch of matches, and each one of them are probably going to be good. You know, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly just have the kind of chemistry when it comes to being opponents in the ring. So really like this. I thought it was good. Definitely, I think, stole the show.
Hoping at the anniversary I'm going to Vegas, we might see like a Iron Man match between the two. That would be sweet. But anyways, next match, it was I'm gonna say it. It's ACH teaming up with Matt Sydal and Alex Shelley going against the Addiction and Chris Sabin. In case y'all did not know, there was another KRD member costing the Addiction the matches, and it was revealed to be Alex Shelley, you know, Chris Sabin's old partner, you know, Motor City Machine Guns. Chris Sabin got confused, and then it ended up being this match taking place. It looked like it was going to start off with Shelley and Sabin, but Sabin attacked Frankie Kazarian. So, yeah, we didn't get to see any action between, you know, Shelley and Chris Sabin. Maybe they're saving it for something, maybe a special match between the two. But, you know, ACH, Matt Sydal and Alex Shelley let them make it. To be honest with you, I did not like this match at all. Reason being because it was slow paced. I feel like there was a lot of botches during the match. I remember the botch that ACH did, which, well, maybe it wasn't ACH's fault. It was maybe more Kazarian's fault. That there was a spot that, you know, it looked like they got confused, and then ACH just slammed his face on the floor, and then when ACH went outside, he literally was pissed off, like, okay, that was retarded. You know, I think he admitted himself that was retarded. And yeah, I thought this match was a little sloppy, and I didn't enjoy this match at all. But do you have any comments on this 6-man tag?
Yeah, this was definitely a messy match. ACH looked like he was having an off night. There's a couple botches with him. I don't know, this match just never seemed to hit that point where it became, you know, a good match. You know, it wasn't bad by any stretch, but it never really got going. Nobody was really, really into it. I expected the fans with all the botches to kind of turn on the match, but they just got quiet. If you rewatch the match, they just kind of stayed a little bit quiet, and that definitely, like I said, you could at some points you could just hear like a pin drop, and that's not what you want to hear with American audiences. If it's a Japanese audience, that's expected because it's a completely different type of environment. But this was rough. This was definitely rough. This was probably my least favorite thing so far up to this point on the show. It definitely wasn't. I don't think it definitely lived up to expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially considering, like I said, you have Alex Shelley return and all this stuff. It's like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like this match kind of fell flat.
I want to ask you something about Alex Shelley. What do you think is going on between them? What they're doing with it? Do you think it's possible they're going to have a match with him and Sabin? Or are we going to see a Machine Guns reunion in Ring of Honor? Like, what do you think is the deal with between Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin?
I don't know. I don't know what they're planning. I don't know what, if they have in store, if it's going to lead to a one-on-one match between Sabin and Shelley. Maybe it's the 14th anniversary. Are they going to swerve us and put the Motor City Machine Guns back together? I don't know. Right now it's tough to tell, like I said, considering Shelley just kind of returned to Ring of Honor after a long absence. So, I don't know. I think we'll have to just kind of wait and see how things progress as the weeks goes on. So, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, this match definitely didn't help that at all. It definitely didn't help the Sabin, Shelley, whatever's going on, because maybe people are going to lose interest.
Yeah, and then there was no physical altercation too, but during this match, but all you saw in the beginning, it was just those two looked like they were about to do something, but then Sabin quickly tagged on Frankie Kazarian, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a big mystery. They didn't do nothing to each other in this match. We'll see what happens with the storyline between the Sabin and Alex Shelley. A lot of people want to see a more Machine Gun reunion, but to me, to be honest with you, I like to see a match because of all the history they had together. If it's in the 14th anniversary, beat it. Fuck it. But we'll see what happens. I didn't read the spoilers of the TV taping, so I don't know. Maybe some people already know. So, all right. Well, let's move on. Next match was for the television championship. We got Roderick Strong going against Bobby Fish. I just think this match was pretty good. It started off pretty good. I like what Fish. Strong was starting pretty fast, doing like quick pins at Fish. Like he did the Olympic Slam to Fish and try to pin him already, but Fish kicks out. He attacks Roderick Strong's legs. They were battling outside, but in the end, this was happening in the end. Roderick Strong acting like he was tackling it. Pretty much what we saw a couple of months ago with The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Pretty much, Roderick Strong busted Undertaker from SummerSlam. He tapped out. Bobby Fish thought he won the match. Referee didn't see the tapping. And then Roderick Strong did a knee in the face at Bobby Fish, and he pinned him. 1, 2, 3, still your TV champion. And it looks like Roderick Strong turned heel. And, Roderick Strong still your TV champion. Tom, what's your thought about that match between Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish?
I thought it was a really good quality match. You know, it was hard hitting at points, which I expected. You know, Bobby Fish has the MMA background, and Roderick Strong, you know, is one of the hardest hitting guys in Ring of Honor and on the independents, so it was expected. I didn't like the finish. You know, like you said, it was like Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, and I didn't like that, and I don't know if, like, do you think turning a Roderick Strong heel is the good option? Like, because I feel like after the year that Roderick Strong's had, people can get behind him. So do you think it's a good idea to turn Roderick Strong's heel? What do you think?
I don't want to say this has to do with it, but when Ring of Honor announced their deal with PWG on their website, I don't know. We all know Roderick Strong's a heel in PWG. I don't know. Maybe they decided, okay, you know, they're heels there and there, but let's make Roderick Strong heel. But it's just weird because in the beginning of the year, wasn't he already a heel? Then he turned then he turned on the Decade, and then that's when he turned face. And then I don't know. It's just weird. It just was really, really weird. I don't know. I don't know what if you agree with my first take about it about the whole PWG deal. You know, why not turn him heel on Ring of Honor? You know, you kind of get me there. It makes more sense, Tom. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that could be a reason why.
I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know. Do you think that they're going to see? And that's the weird thing, is that there's this whole Ring of Honor PWG thing going on, but is it like, I don't think they're gonna, you know, cross over characters stuff. So, you know, because with Ring of Honor, they've always kind of kept some things separate from PWG over the years. You know, some things have stayed the same. You know, like the Steen Generico feud has kind of stayed the same. But I don't know. It's definitely something interesting. But like I said, it's also really weird because it just seems like, you know, Roderick Strong was just heel in the Decade, and then he turned babyface, and now he is heel again. So, I don't know. I feel like he could have had a longer babyface run.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, they should have continued on him as a babyface. Maybe they have plans for him to feud with other guys like Bobby Fish again, maybe a Carl O'Reilly, maybe even Dalton Castle if they want to push him up there. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand. But at the same time, I'm thinking, if the relationship with PWG has to do with it, why not have the Bucks turn heel as well? You know, I'm not saying bringing Matt Rashmore to fucking Ring of Honor, but, you know, might as well turn the Bucks heel as well. I don't know. I just don't understand why. It's a big mystery. It's pretty much a big mystery. We all don't fucking know. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens in Ring of Honor in a couple of weeks. I'll be watching the tapings whenever they air them, and maybe we'll give an idea what's going on with Roderick Strong, what the plan is. But yeah, it was just weird. Beginning of the year, like probably in January of last year, he was the heel. Now you turn him heel in December. That's weird. So I don't know, man. But who knows? All right. And the next match, I'll see. The next match, I believe, was well, before we go to the next match, I say Veda Scott and Cedric Alexander, they supposedly reached a settlement of Ring of Honor, and now they're going to be doing more things in 2016. So that's pretty much the whole thing that this lawsuit thing they're going to do that gets it killed off that angle off. So that's over with. And she looked nice with that black dress, by the way. Next match. It was a real short match, maybe because of injuries, but the Kingdom defended their tag team titles against War Machine. It was a real short match. I believe maybe because, Raymond Rowe seemed like he got hurt. He looked like he had a concussion. I believe on the spot from outside, he got hurt. Then the biggest part was Matt Taven. He looked like he hurt his knee. There was a spot where he tried to slide on Hanson while Hanson was in the apron, and he might have landed wrong, and he fucked up his knee right there. And it seemed like they cut the match short because of those two injuries, especially Taven's injury. He couldn't do much, pretty much. And and now we have your new tag team champions. It's War Machine. Fortunately, I didn't like. I don't mind the title change, but I didn't like how the outcome in the match. Maybe they didn't like it either, but yeah, that's how it was. It was like a short, actually, maybe like 5-minute match if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, War Machine are your new tag team champions. Sal, you have a comment on that match?
Yeah, it was definitely. It definitely turns really, really sour when Taven got injured. I mean, very, very unfortunate. And I'm pretty sure Mike Bennett was working with hurt ribs as well. So, yeah, the match definitely turned for the worse very quickly. I think we knew War Machine was going to win anyway. It's just that they sped up the end of the match because of Taven's injury. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say. Very quick match. Unfortunately, that Taven got injured. It was the worst case scenario, and they did the best that they could, but it was going to be tough to save that. So, yeah, like I said. And now with all the rumors of the Kingdom leaving...
sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're on mute again, I figured. Now with all the rumors of the Kingdom leaving, with Mike Bennett and Maria possibly leaving Ring of Honor, I figure right now is the perfect time to get into it before we get into the main event. What do you think of the rumors of Mike Bennett and Maria going to TNA? Are the rumors right now at this point?
To be honest, it would have shocked me if they do end up going to TNA. I know TNA tried to sign some big names for their Pop TV debut. Interesting, Ryan Stan, the guy used to be on TMZ who's on Pro Wrestling Sheet. I heard him on another podcast mentioning that it's possible they could be talking with Sami Callihan and Brad Maddox as well to join the roster. I don't know if that's true or not, but if Mike Bennett goes to TNA, I would say wish him luck there, but maybe he can have other opportunities to do other things as well, because in TNA, I think most likely they allow you to work indies as well. Maybe that's something he wants to do. But we'll see. I mean, if Maria and Mike Bennett go to TNA, I wish them luck there. I don't know what kind of role they could do out there. I mean, I know right now in TNA they're going to do the finals for the title. Because all fall they've been having this stupid series that took way too long and crowned them a champ, which I'm thinking most likely EC3 is going to walk out TNA champion. But hopefully they find a role for him in there and TNA if he does go out there and see what he does. I wish he could stay longer in Ring of Honor, but maybe contract situation they can't do it. Maybe Maria wants to go out there. Maria could have probably more chances to wrestle out there than Ring of Honor. I know Ring of Honor is starting the Women of Honor thing going on now, but Maria could probably get a role there too as well. Like maybe she could go up with their knockout title. We probably might see her in the ring more in TNA. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll probably find out in a few weeks when TNA makes their debut on Pop TV, and we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, I'll tell all rumors right now and see what happens. But Tom, what you thought about those rumors?
It's definitely very interesting. You know, we heard the rumors, you know, a little while ago that there was possibly, you know, a place in WWE for Mike Bennett and Maria, and maybe even Matt Taven too. The whole kingdom minus Adam Cole. And now we're hearing that, you know, Mike Bennett and Maria are going to go to TNA. So it's very, you know, like I said, that's how rumors go, especially in the wrestling industry. They change so quickly because that's what they are. They're just rumors until you hear it from the horse's mouth. You can never be too sure. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, you know. I don't know how Mike Bennett would fare in TNA. I think he would get a good push. I think, you know, I think he could add something to TNA. But and the thing is, I don't know if both him and Taven are going. I don't know if it's just him and Maria. So that's the thing.
Let's understand, Matt Taven's contract doesn't end to March. So if they want,
that's why when I was reading the rumors, it was just basically, it was, you know, Bennett and Maria without Taven. And I always said that before Bennett and Taven joined the Kingdom, they were just kind of like, they weren't bad, but they were just kind of missing something, and I think the Kingdom was something that helped out both of them. So, I don't know, and I feel like if he goes to TNA, that could happen as well. So, I don't know. Like, I feel like he needs something. So, I don't know how he would fare in TNA being on his own with just Maria. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you know what? If Taven does go to TNA as well, and they brought the Kingdom together in TNA, I mean, TNA's tag team division just is the weakest. I mean, all I know is they have the freaking Wolves there. There's no really that much tag teams. I mean, they did a little Austin Aries and Bobby Roode thing for a little bit, but Austin Aries is not on the contract there. So I really don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't have a tag team division, so that might help out a bit if Taven does go there in a few months. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out in a few weeks what's Michael Bennett's situation, if he's going to go to TNA now. We'll find out in a few weeks. And, yeah, we'll just find out. And hopefully they'll give him a good role in there. All right, next match. You got the main event. You got the champ, Jay Lethal, going against AJ Styles for the Ring of Honor World Championship. We kind of mentioned in earlier, they had good chemistry. I feel like this is the best match out of all of them because I've seen matches of them before, like in TNA when they wrestled each other before. But this was a long match. It was maybe 25 minutes, maybe due to the fact that, that the last match was short, so they went longer. And then I like how the ending, which when he kicked out the lethal ejection, and then AJ tried to do the Styles Clash, but did not work out. And then he had to do the lethal ejection again. Oh, and he did Jerry Lynn's move as well, and he pointed at him as well. Because Jerry Lynn was the commentator for the night match. And then he did Alicia Jackson again at AJ Styles, and he beat him. And still, your Ring of Honor champion, Jay Lethal. Tom, your thoughts of that main event?
I thought it was a really, really good main event. Like I said, I was definitely worried, considering AJ Styles' health going into it. We didn't know how he would fare. But, AJ Styles went out there and laid it out all on the line. He held nothing back. The guy is insane. And you know what? That's why he's the best in the world, because, I have to imagine he's still working with that injury. He's probably still in pain. But it doesn't matter, because he went out there and he gave it just like he does on any other night. So big props to AJ Styles for going out there, considering what was going into this matchup with his injury. So, like I said, big props to AJ Styles for just doing that. And like I said, that's why he's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. But like I said, this match I thought it was really good. A lot of good spots, a lot of good pacing, told a really good story. We saw some good counters, saw a lot of good reversals. And you know what? One of the biggest things that I took away from this matchup was that Jay Lethal beat AJ Styles one-on-one clean on the biggest pay-per-view of the year with no interference, no bullshit. There was no Truth Martini interference. There was no pulling of the tights. There was none of that. It was just a clean 1-2-3 victory after the lethal injection. And like I said, I thought it was a great pace. I thought the match felt a little bit different, but in a good way. It's something we really don't see from the two guys, but I thought it was really good. They went out there and delivered a main event match, and like I said, that's why they're two of the best. And so there's a reason that now Jay Lethal is defending his title against Elgin at the Tokyo Dome, and AJ Styles is going against Nakamura for that Intercontinental title, because they're two of the most elite. So this was, like I said, when that number one contenders match happened a few months back and we were picking the winners, I picked AJ Styles because I figured that this had to be the main event for Final Battle, because this was everything that you expect in a main event matchup. It felt like a main event match. It didn't feel like you would see it on any other show except for Final Battle. So, definitely a great match, great way to cap off Final Battle. Ring of Honor did really good with this, and like I said, big props to both guys. And like I said, also, once again, big props to AJ Styles for going out there. And like I said, so many of us were uncertain on how he was going to be feeling, but that's why he's nicknamed Phenomenal for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So it was a great pay-per-view. We'll see what's next for Ring of Honor in the next couple months. The 4th anniversary, me and Skips will be over there. We already got our tickets, and we check out the TV tapings out there. But, we'll see what happens out there in Ring of Honor. And I give them a props to their pay-per-view. It was great. It was worth my $44 I paid for. So let me ask you something. What do you think is next for Jay Lethal after Elgin? You think he'll lose the belt to Elgin, or do you think he's going to move on from us? What do you think is next for Jay Lethal?
I don't think he's going to lose to Elgin. As big as Elgin is in Japan as compared to Lethal, I think this is just it's going to be a match because of what Elgin did at the G1. It's just going to be another way to elevate Lethal. I don't think Ring of Honor would change titles in a New Japan ring. I think if they were going to change titles, it would be in their own environment. So after Elgin, because you have to figure the next big show is the 14th anniversary. I don't know. I don't really know who really the next person to step up is. Who's going to be, his next competitor? Because you're looking at the different options. Could it be Kyle O'Reilly? Once Kyle O'Reilly maybe has one other match with Adam Cole, could that be it? Could Jay Lethal face Nakamura at the 14th anniversary because they did Ring of Honor and Nakamura will be there. So will Jay Lethal be defending his title against a New Japan guy in a Ring of Honor ring at the 14th anniversary? That's a big possibility. But you look at contenders. So you look at Kyle O'Reilly possibly, maybe Adam Cole. I don't know. Who do you think? What are some possibilities, do you think?
I don't want to say Moose because it could be a little too early. Like I said earlier, I don't think he's going to drop the title to Elgin. But if he does, it seems like we'll have a rematch at the 14th, and probably Lethal will get it back easily like that at the 14th anniversary. Very good questions. I mean, who could he go after? Maybe Nakamura. You could be right. I don't mind seeing that be the main event if it's going to be Nakamura against Lethal for the title at the 14th anniversary. I don't mind that going on if they do that. I don't know. But we'll see. The lists are going like less and less. Who could go after Lethal next? I know for sure I don't want to see him and Mark Briscoe at it again. No way. I mean, have Mark Briscoe Jay Briscoe stay with the freaking title scene. That's what I want right now. But I don't want to see a feud that just happened and do it again. I don't want to see that shit happen again. So I don't know. That's pretty much I could give out, All right. I think we might have to end the show a little early. We'll talk some 2CW on a recorded show, so take a look at that. But but right now, just follow us at Wrestling Heads on Twitter, Instagram. You can check out our photos of me and Skids, where we met and all that stuff. Just check it out. I want to take a shout out to David. He bought our shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees, I'm guessing. He bought the Wrestling Heads versus Everybody shirt. He's wearing it somewhere in the East Coast. Thanks. Shout out to you, David, for buying the shirt. Also, check out WrestlingHeads.com. Skids is always posting stuff in there. Not only Skids, you have bloggers. Just check all that out. Just go to WrestlingHeads.com. And if you want to be like David, like I said earlier, you could support us, but go to ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. You can buy our shirt there. You can buy either our old logo shirt or what David has right now, Wrestling Heads versus Everybody. You can get that there too. So head down to ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. If you want to check out older episodes, go on our YouTube page. YouTube.com/WrestlingHeads. You can check out old interviews. So we had with the Birthday Boy Busick. We had Too Young in the past. There's a lot of names out there. Rocky Romero, Danny Limelight, who's doing well at Challenge Wrestling from Hollywood right now. Drake Younger. The list goes on. Just go on there and check out all episodes. And you can follow me at Sinister632 on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. Follow Wrestling Heads at Periscope, by the way. That's pretty much all I got. Tom, you have anything?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. My Periscope is the same thing, so follow me on there. Like I keep saying, I'm trying to get back into tweeting. I'm always on and off with it, but with so many shows being released, independent shows, PWG, I need to catch up on, Alpha One, AAW, a lot of stuff to catch up on, so I'll be catching up on shows as I head into 2016 once the holiday rush kind of dwindles down, so keep an eye out for that. I'll probably be live tweeting Wrestle Kingdom. I'll be up for that, so you can follow me along there, and we'll chat about that show live, and that's it for my personal stuff. Make sure you guys are checking out the rest of the Elite Podcast Network at Elite Podcast Net on Twitter. Indie Power Rankings returns tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. I don't know, I said 5 o'clock. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Matthew Grant will be on there with promoter from an Atlanta independent wrestling organization. So if you're always curious about stuff like that, good chance to check it out. And they'll also be back on Wednesday. And don't forget, guys, next week, Indie Power Rankings, Top 100, guests galore, Ethan Page, Ricochet, Santana Garrett. Those are only some of the names. I can't give away all of the names because you're going to have to follow them at Weekly W Podcast on Twitter and Indie Power Ranking on Twitter to find out the full list, find out times, 2 days next week. Believe it is the 28th and the 29th of December. So make sure you guys check that out. Like I said, it's going to be a couple big shows. We have big shows coming up as well. Eyes on the Ring, of course, live every Sunday night, 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. They're doing their thing. Everyone at the Elite Podcast Network is throwing out great shows. And also, big shout-out to Let's Talk by the Cooler. Every Thursday, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, talking regular sports. I'm sure after this weekend, they're going to have a lot to talk about. And if you want to get your voice heard, if you want to just chat some sports, chat whatever, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever, call them up, same number as this one, and they'll be live, once again, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. So make sure you check it out. Check out the whole Elite Podcast Network. It's been almost a year, and we're only getting bigger from here. And, like I said, I know I mentioned it and you mentioned it. I want to say just a thank you to 2CW. I got a chance to go to a couple of their shows when I was in college. Sucks that another independent organization is, out of business and not running shows. They've been around for about 10 years now, and they've been one of the top indie promotions. So, sucks to see them go. Thank you for the free stream yesterday. You don't see that very often, but thank you for that. And, guys, like I said, that's why I need to go out and support independent wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. Support, companies like AAW, AIW, PWG, or even your local wrestling companies where you live, because over here, there's Santino's, there's IWL, AEW is in hiatus right now, but we got all these stuff here. I mean, go if you live in Vegas, go support FSW. I mean, there's a lot. There should be some wherever you live, no matter where it is. There's got to be something there. Just support that. for everybody out there, you know. Yeah. You don't want to end up like we see in 2CW. 2CW had some great moments, I'll tell you that right now. And freaking Spike Dudley was there. That's crazy. But maybe we could talk about that on our recorded show. But I guess until then, we're out. Peace.
Big news! The new Sprint LTE Plus network is faster than Verizon and AT&T based on analysis of a recent study by Nielsen. And to celebrate, we're inviting you to join Sprint for the biggest offer in U.S. wireless history. Switch to Sprint and save 50% on most Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile rates. Yep, you heard that right. No gimmicks, no tricks. You have Verizon 6 gigs for $60, 30 with Sprint. And if you have 15 gigs for $100 from AT&T, 50 with Sprint. Even if you have T-Mobile's 10 gigs for $80, we'll give it to you for $40. Oh, and one more thing. We'll even pay your switching fees up to $650 per line so you can switch to the Sprint LTE Plus network today. Visit a Sprint store at sprint.com/save 50%.
Offer coverage not available everywhere for discounted phones. Excludes taxes, surcharges, roaming, and premium content. Subject to new line $36 activation fee. Credit valid port-in. Plans may not be exact match. See website for eligible plans. Offer ends 1/7/16. Savings through 1/8/18. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Contract by via reward card requires online registration.